Welcome to Reddit Tea Time. Am I the bonehead for changing my name after my dad gave it to his affair baby? I am female 20 and have a half-sister, female 7, that is a product of my dad's affair, and he thought it would be an amazing idea to give her my name. He started forcing us to get to know each other as siblings, and my mom, being the traditional wife that she is, let her into our home. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate the child because I understand that she's innocent in all this. I'm actually working on getting over it and learning to love and accept her. However, I despise the fact that my dad decided to give her my name. I started hating my own name and didn't want to be associated with it anymore. So the moment I got to college, I introduced myself under a different name to everyone I met there. I got a certificate, which had my new name on it, and when my dad saw it, he went berserk, claiming that I don't like his child and I don't respect her. My mom is also angry at him for what he did, especially since the name was given to me by her and not him. OP clarified that they both share the same first name. Not the bonehead, and depending on where you live, you can legally have it changed to the name you picked. You can also change your last name at the same time if you like. It's a simple petition to the court. You can file it yourself when you get the right form to fill out, and it will only cost you a filing fee. Small wait for a judge to look it over and approve it, and then you can get all new identification in your new name, including a birth certificate. Not the bonehead. It's like he wanted to recreate you. It's creepy. I'm sorry this happened to you, OP. Not the bonehead. It was horrible of him to give your half-sister your name. Truly, it boggles the mind. You have every right to be upset with him for doing that, and every right to change your name. Not the bonehead. Who the F gives their two children the same name, product of an affair or not? Am I the bonehead for forcing my husband to sleep outside in the cold? I'm in complete shock at the moment. My hands are shaking even writing this. I'm on a burner due to the nature of this post. I don't want anyone close to me knowing yet, as it's still fresh. I found out my husband of 11 years has been living a double life and has been doing something so disgusting I can't even fathom how this was getting past me in my own household. I feel so ashamed and so embarrassed. My husband is a truck driver, and more times than not, he'll be out trucking for months at a time. He doesn't have to be, but he reassures me, telling me that it'll help to make us more money. I thought nothing of it until recently. I feel so stupid because I didn't put two and two together that he's been making the same amount of money since he first started trucking. He wasn't out months at a time back then. He hasn't made more money, so where's that extra time gone? Well, I found out from a friend of his who revealed to me that he's not only been cheating on me with several hookers, but he's been running around and having an affair with his friend's daughter. He's been letting her stay in his truck. I have no clue how old she is because the guy was steaming over the phone. I didn't even get a chance to ask about her age. He came home last night and I couldn't even look at him. I was disgusted. I made him pack his stuff and told him to leave. He's been calling and texting nonstop saying he's out in the freezing cold in his truck, and he doesn't want to get a hotel because of her. All morning he's been banging at the door, and a part of me feels bad because of the weather. I just don't know if I want to let him in. The other part of me just wants to leave him to the wolves and the elements. He keeps saying he wants to be at home because he works hard. He's cold and he wants to explain. I just feel like there's nothing to explain though. I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out right now. I feel so betrayed. My life is falling apart before my eyes. Words cannot describe the pain I feel. And I know what he did is so wrong, but am I wrong to not let him stay here until I figure out what I'm going to do about him? I'm just worried because we both have ownership of the house. So I don't know if I'm even allowed to keep him out. Am I wrong to make him stay outside? Any advice is so appreciated. Not the bonehead. He's good at finding other places to sleep. What's one more night? Not the bonehead. He can get a hotel room, but I'd skip town if I were him because his friend sounds really pissed off. Though that would be a way to make your husband leave. Call his friend and tell him where he can find your husband, then let your husband know he's on the way over. Not the bonehead. They always want to explain after they're caught. I would love to hear his explanation. You take care of yourself. If he is cold, he can start his damn truck and turn on the heat. Then he can start driving and not stop until he is far, far away from you. He is not in the Siberian wilderness. He literally has access to a truck and hotels. If he wants to freeze strike until hypothermia, let him. Not the bonehead. Am I the bonehead for telling my brother he put his wife's wants before his kids? My brother has 2 children from his marriage to his late wife, Denise. His son just turned 20 and his daughter is 18. Denise died when the children were 6 and 7 years old. 18 months later, my brother met Catherine, his second wife, and they married after 4 months of knowing each other. Catherine was unable to have biological children, and she always dreamed of being a mom and wanted to be a mom to my nephew and niece. My brother wanted this for her also, but the kids did not want to be Catherine's children. They did not want to call her mom or be adopted by her. They did not want her to be the sole focus of Mother's Day, etc. My brother spent years trying to get the children to call Catherine mom. He and Catherine applied for her to adopt the kids and were rejected by the judge after she spoke to the children about what they wanted. They tried again and were denied by a different judge before making it to court. Things were always tense with my brother and his children. It was also tense with the rest of the family because some of us spoke up and asked him why he was pushing this on his children so much. He would say Catherine deserved to be a mom and deserved the respect for being a loving and nurturing mother to the kids. Mother's Day from the first year they were married until last year was very toxic. My brother no longer allowed the kids to see their maternal relatives that day, and they also didn't see any of us or visit the grave. He said the day in their family was for Catherine. He would make her breakfast and give her cards and gifts from the kids. Then the kids would tell her she didn't deserve to be celebrated for Mother's Day, and she was nobody's mother. My brother didn't like it, and Catherine would be upset at the reminder. The kids would also be quick to inform Catherine they never wrote in the cards, because my brother always addressed them to Mom, and the kids never called her that. In the last few months, my brother has lost contact with his children. The last time they spoke to their dad, the kids told him they put Catherine's wants before them, and they would never forgive him for that. They said he had no right to insist they be the children to fill the void for her when they already had a mom who they loved. My brother dismissed the idea entirely that he put Catherine before the kids like that. When I saw him for New Year's at my parents' house, he was telling me about it, and I told him the kids were right, and he did put Catherine's wants before the kids. I said he made her want to be a mother the most important thing and tried to force the kids to comply and be her kids. He told me that was not what happened, and I should be sympathetic to him and to Catherine, who had her heart broken by the kids. Am I the bonehead? Not the bonehead. I don't understand how these stories are so common. A part of me can't get over the fact that more often than not, these stories are about men erasing wives after they die. Yeah, women do it too, but more often than not, it's the men. They're quick to leave and move on from a dying wife statistically, so it makes me believe these are likely true. Just sad as ish and makes me terrified to have a kid. Not the bonehead. Those kids may have called her mom in their own time, if they had been given the chance. That will likely never happen now. Not the bonehead. Those kids must have felt they were screaming into a void for 10 years. You just repeated that scream. Am I the bonehead for refusing to swap rooms with my sister just because she's pregnant? I, 17, just recently found out that my sister, 21, is pregnant, and after she told me, she said that she wants us to swap rooms because my room would be more convenient for her to have. The main reasons she wants to swap are because my room is downstairs and hers is upstairs, and she doesn't want to have to carry a baby up and down the stairs constantly, and she wants to easily be able to take the pram into her room. My room is also closer to the kitchen, has more storage space, and has an ensuite. Her room is literally bigger than mine, so I don't know why she would want a smaller room even though she's going to have more things to put in it. And although she doesn't have an ensuite, there's a bathroom right beside her room. So it's not like she has to walk a mile for a bathroom or anything. But the main reason I don't want to swap is because my room has just been freshly painted and had new flooring put in, so I don't want to just change rooms and have it basically been done for nothing. And I told her that, and she said it was selfish of me to not want to give her my room, which is hypocritical because I asked if I could swap rooms with her ages ago, and she said no. But now that she wants mine, it's selfish of me not to give it to her. She started going on about how I have no idea how hard it's going to be for her and a bunch of other stuff to try and make me feel bad, but I basically told her I don't care how much she asks for it. I'm not swapping. Everyone sucks here. Would it be the right thing and kind if you gave it to her? Sure. She's not entitled to it just because she's pregnant. Sorry, not sorry. You can't just decide when you want to ask for someone else's stuff. Would it have been better if she asked and not demanded? Absolutely. You might have even been more willing to trade because she asked. Also, seeing as parents paid for it, the parents might have a say in this, so you might not get that choice. Not the bonehead. Tell your sister you see the best solution is for her to move out and get her own place. If she's old enough to reproduce, she's old enough to live out from under her parents' roof. Her lack of planning is not your responsibility. Where is the baby daddy living? It's fair you don't want to give up your room. You just had redone, but your sister is going to have a baby. You say your parents paid for the room remodel and that your bedroom is the only bedroom downstairs. It'll be easier for her to have a downstairs bedroom both when heavily pregnant and after the baby is born. Also, after the baby is born, being downstairs would mean less noise for everyone else. It's closer to the kitchen, so she wouldn't need to walk far when she needs to heat a bottle at 4 a.m., and she's sleep deprived, the less chance of accidentally falling too. It might have less space, but it does have more storage. All of her and the baby's smaller things could be put away, and she might need a smaller bed for herself to fit furniture. But it would be worth it to her, sounds like. I understand you don't want to switch rooms just because your sister is pregnant, but it doesn't seem like there's downsides for you. You'd get a bigger room, still next to a bathroom, and can ask your parents to help remodel it since your sister wants to switch. If the flooring can't be done right now, you can still paint the walls yourself. You wanted the room before, now's your chance. I'm going to say soft, you're the bonehead. Given your clarification that you're both living in your parents' house, and they're the ones who paid for the new flooring, etc., it sounds like both of your rooms are their rooms, and to your sister's point, it is easier to care for a newborn on the ground floor and with an en-suite bathroom. That said, the newborn coming home is going to affect you, so I hope your whole family, everyone who lives there, can sit down and have a discussion about what arrangements make sense. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next Reddit story.